no more. But he's not the same. There's something about his kisses that tells me he's changed. I know there's something missing inside. Something's died. His heart is out in the street. He walked on sidewalk, streetlight shining above. He walked with no one to love. He walked on sidewalk, he was running free. He walked and then he met me. Beat up, hang around with the gang no more. She doesn't smile like it did before. I wish I could care. I wish I could let him have it out there. So I gotta set him free. He's gotta be out in his heart. His heart is out in the street. We don't hang around, gang no more. We don't hang gang no more. We don't hang around, gang no more. We don't hang around, gang no more. We don't hang around, gang no more. You don't hang around, gang no more. You don't hang around, gang no more. Hello. I am having difficulty of these with things. As usual, it's no surprise to me. I am a desperate little person. I'm putting videos up on Daily Motion, you know. Sticks and Hammer told me to do it, so I do what he says because I like to pretend I am his girlfriend. I don't think he wants me for a girlfriend, but I would have him for a boyfriend. They won't let you put up nothing with the copyright on a Daily Motion, you know. So I'm going to have to play a guitar, something to compensate for my own music. But fuck that, I can do it, you know. So there's no point in fooling around, you know. I just do a dye job. Do you like it? It came out all right, don't you think? Okay. Yeah, this skirt is a nice skirt, but my belly is pregnant, okay? I would like to show you a flat belly. I don't got one. I have a fat belly. You know, I am going to talk about things that have to do with artistic. But first, I want to put a spiritual message in the video. I just put these here. A little spiritual message in the video. Sometimes we are contacting spirits from the dead and we don't know it. It's mysterious. This Q is not for Q, that asshole Q, no. It's for queer. Okay? I get it. $2. It's a piece of metal. So I'm going to talk about the influence of heroin in the pop culture, you know. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Just figure it out. Yeah, heroin, you know, it's invented in Germany by a German company. It's invented by a company, you know. You buy heroin, it's coming from the jungle, but the real heroin is a drug that is was manufactured in Germany to stop a morphine addiction. So right there, it's bullshit. It's not. But the heroin you get now on the street is coming from the jungle. It's manufactured in the jungle. And so what is this connection between heroin and in music all the time a junkie and a junkie and a junkie and this. It's too much. Well, you know, it comes from somewhere. I have an itch under this thing. I would like to stab myself. It is coming from somewhere, so I have where it's coming from a source, okay, in my head. I got to do this quick because I've got to waste time here. You see this? You look this up, you find out what this is. It's a publication, it's like a platform for artists before Playboy. Playboy became the big cultural thing, you see. The 60s was a big revolution. You have people making fun of the 60s. They are full of shit, okay? The 60s beat the military complex. The 60s knocked their fucking war out. If it wasn't for the protesters, they'd be fighting that goddamn war today, okay? They put up propaganda to tell you that the 60s was bullshit. The 60s wasn't bullshit. 3/4 of the cultural things you are doing now come from them. The Republicans are such scum, they would appropriate 60s notions. And they do. I'm not going into that. Okay. Now when I say scum, I mean business scum. You see, the Republican Party in the United States is sold out to the military industrial complex. It's politicians that get money into districts, in the poor districts, and they get a hold of all the people because they give them jobs working in the munitions factory. That's classically how you get people like Lindsey Graham sitting for a long time. And the rest, I don't even like to say their fucking names. I fucking hate them. And soon they will be no more on this earth. Thank God. Okay. So here we are. Now, this is telling you the first part of the heroin phenomenon. It comes from the Beat generation. You see, the cultural peoples, like Bob Dylan, okay? Bob Dylan, we're going to use him, good example. He is giant progenitor and the people in all the emotions around him in the pop culture realm, see? But what he's doing, he's run away to New York City from Michigan. And in New York City, if you read his book, you can find that out. Finally, Bob Dylan you couldn't find out nothing about Bob Dylan until he wrote that fucking book. That book tells everything. You couldn't find out nothing how he did it. He's going around to people's houses. They have fucking libraries. Okay? They have libraries, and he is hanging around at their house reading the libraries. They all love him. They adopt him. Okay? So it's all coming from writers from the generation is the Beat generation. The free association that comes to be in the Beatles songs and everything. Okay, it's coming from the Beat generation writers who are playing with the collage techniques of writing a prose and this and that. Okay. I waste too much time on this. Okay, so I'm going to read you the first paragraph. And this is William Burroughs telling you how he entitled his book Naked Lunch. Okay? Okay. I awoke from the sickness at the age of 45, calm and sane and in reasonably good health except for a weakened liver and the look of borrowed flesh common to all who survive the sickness. He's talking about the withdrawing from dope, heroin. Most survivors do not remember the delirium in detail. I apparently took detailed notes when I was going through the delirium. He don't remember he's kicking dope and he's writing down his ideas and things like this. When he's off dope, he don't remember doing it. I have no precise memory of writing the notes, which have now been published under the title Naked Lunch. The title was suggested by Jack Kerouac. I did not understand what the title meant until my recent recovery. He is going through dope withdrawal probably for a long time because it's a failed thing. You know, he's trying and trying. He writes about it. So he comprised this book, Naked Lunch, which I'm going to read a little bit about. But he says that when I came to Haiti, I had no fucking idea what the title meant. I just put it on the book. This is the book that is the holy grail to pop musicians, lyricists, you see? Or one of them. There are others. Yeah, I did not understand what the title meant until my recent recovery. The title means exactly what the words say. Naked Lunch. A frozen moment when everybody sees what is on the end of every fork, right? So what is Kerouac has helped him compile the notes and make them into a book. And this is an excerpt from what is in this damn book. This book is a journey inside an insane asylum, okay? I'm going to read it to you. From a naked lunch. I do him for you, okay? I do Burroughs for you this time instead of this voice. Wait, let's see. Okay, I thought, okay. Dr. Fingerschafer, the lobotomy kid, rises and turns on the conference of the cold blue blast of his gaze. Gentlemen, the human nervous system can be reduced to a compact and abbreviated spinal column. The brain, front, middle, and rear must follow the adenoid, the wisdom tooth, the appendix. I give you my master work, the complete all-American de-anesthetized man. Blast of trumpets. The man is carried in naked by two Negro bearers who drop him on a platform with bestial, sneering brutality. The man wriggles. His flesh turns to viscid, transparent jelly that drifts away in green mint, unveiling a monster black centipede. Waves of unknown stench fill the room, searing the lungs, grabbing the stomach. Schaefer wrings his hands, sobbing. Clarence! How can you do this to me? Ingrates, every one of them, ingrates. The conference start back, muttering in dismay. I'm afraid Schaefer has gone a bit too far. I sounded a word of warning. Brilliant chap, Schaefer, but man will do anything for publicity. Gentlemen, this unspeakable and in every sense illegitimate child of Dr. Schaefer's perverted brain must not see the light. Okay, a huge black centipede, and it was their duty to the human race to destroy this monster before it could by any means perpetrate its kind. This is a metaphor, I'm saying, who cares? It's a metaphor for the pop music culture. You see, the legacy media, what Sticks and Hammers calling the legacy media, they don't want anybody to come in and fuck around on their platforms. And they have people in CIA to help them stomp this shit out. And that's how you come up with Charles Manson, okay? Now we have two... How am I doing here? I got to look. Okay. You know, we recently have the AIDS epidemic, you know. Now, the AIDS epidemic is a genocide because it's kill all the queers. And where are all the queers? all the queers are taking over all the resorts in the United States in the 80s. If you go to any resort that is offshore, it is taken over by the leather fags. They have gotten a lot of money and they are owning the bars. And after AIDS, they all disappear. Okay? It's what happens when you create a threat to those people. They can go as far as to invent this fucking thing, you see. This is no different than the syphilis experiments. They simply infect one person. There was one person infected. This is lost now. You got to go back and look it up. And he had the black lesions. And he went around and they were all going out all night and partying, fucking each other. And they're spreading this, the virus, the HIV virus. But the thing about it, according to very learned people in medicine who have tested this, is the man's test who developed the HIV test is full of shit. He simply put something together to say, this is the test and that's it, and people have found it very unscientific. Okay? Now, the upshot of this fucking genocide is, if this fucking thing was so evil that everybody who gets gonna drop dead, they don't have no cure for it, where did it fucking go? Okay? Yeah, this was a worldwide plague. Where did it fucking go? It disappeared. Now, if it disappeared, it was bullshit to begin with. You see? Yeah, that's it. So you will notice that we have another crisis that they have invented. This is another crisis they have invented. They have invented the opioid crisis in the media. That crisis never existed on the street. That existed in the media only. Okay? And then as a result of that being printed in the media only, certain drugs were knocked off the shelf. Meaning an over-popular drug is now knocked off the shelf by something I put in the media, and guess what? My drug can be put on the shelf. You see? So these things is what is happening in every situation in the news now is going to reflect this thing of one person, one group is want to knock out another group, and they do it by putting shit in the media. And they will go as far as to kill somebody overseas to make the gold go up. Now, don't you know that the investors, the ones that were close to Trump, realize that, hey, man, when he puts up this killing of Soleimani, we're going to get rich. You see, if you were in on that, you could put your investment in. That was a spike you could get out if you got out here. That was a fiat coup. Some people got the rich from that. Or they made some money. But this is not going to stop, is the point, okay?